Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we have a new queen of the challenge fights over in the PvP game mode. With the release of Alpha comes a new PvP challenge mode. Now, Alpha is a very interesting character. She is based around the Int team, like the Int team needed more buffs, being like the second or third strongest team in the game. Basically, if you have a full Int-based team, all enemies get attack down level 7, CD down level 3, and then you also get HP and defense up level 5 for your Int characters, which is very, very good. So all you need is 6 Int characters, and you can get the debuffs, you get buffs for your Int teammates, and then her special, on a 22-second cooldown, gives world government characters, allies, 20% CD reduction, targets 3 enemies for CT speed down level 5, targets Int for CT speed up level 5. So she's allowing your characters to go very, very quickly. She's spamming her special very, very fast. And then when you partner this with characters like Garling, who's getting the 20% reduction, Saba, who's also giving cooldown, and then you have Yamato and Roger combined with the death shots, like, you're doing a lot of very, very good things with this particular lineup. On top of that, they have the 5 driven characters. They have a level 150 or level limit break 5 Garling on the team, so he's super special. It's absolutely ridiculous. So this fight's actually very, very challenging, but there is a very nice and surefire way to take it down, and that's with strength. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different combinations to get this done, based around the strength team. Now, the 2 culprits you really want to bring, the first one is Ryza and Shinobu. Whilst there are very strong teams in PvP, and there's no real like one team that can beat everything, there are weaknesses to every team, and Action Bind definitely is a problem for the Int team. So having 100% chance to Action Bind works very, very well with Ryza Shinobu. They're on a very, very low cooldown, and on top of that, there's a lot of debuffing units on the Int team, so you can actually utilize the Forced Out mechanic from Kuma very, very nicely to stop characters like Yamato from popping off with her death shot, stopping characters like Atlas from getting all that cooldown reduction and doing some fun stuff there. But if you guys enjoyed the video, bell the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Hopefully this helps you guys out, because this is a pretty hard challenge fight. Like, I've tried this with a lot of different teams, and a lot of different teams have failed, so don't be too discouraged if you're struggling. The upside to this challenge fight is it will be around forever. So hopefully these strength builds help you out, and with that said, let's dive in. Alright, so we're going to start off with my traditional strength-based lineup. We are running the waifus, level limit break 5 in the front lines here, and we have Kobe. Kobe's great because he gives cooldown reduction, he can give haste. Uta is absolutely fantastic with her cooldowns. Luffy's big damage dealing, and as I mentioned, we have Kuma with the Forced Out mechanic. Now, Ryza Shinobu aren't featured on this particular team. They will be featured on the next 2 teams, because this one isn't really shooter-centric. The next 2 are way more shooter-focused, one of them being an actual shooter team, but more like strength shooter reliant. But this was the first team that I cleared it with. It cleared it so easy that I ran it back, and unfortunately I had some not so good RNG for the recorded run as I did with the actual run. Now, the thing with Garling, he's always going to target Luffy. Luffy's always going to take that shot from Garling, which actually works in your favor, provided obviously your Luffy is level 150, then Rex Commander, which, look, if you've been playing for a while, I would highly recommend doing that. He's the best PvP character in the game. You definitely want to have him maxed out. But if he is maxed out, he's going to be the one that takes the Garling shot. Now, he's immune to half stats, which is very, very potent for this particular build, because then Garling's shot just does a lot less than what it needs to. So you don't have to worry about taking too much damage on Luffy. You actually get put around that 50% mark, provided like your Luffy does have some investments, and then your Luffy actually hits really, really hard there. Kuma actually died on this run. For the run that I did the first clear for, Kuma went first, and he just basically stopped Alpha, he stopped Yamato, he forced them out, and from there I basically just killed everything else. The waifu's confusion will stop, or has the ability to stop Roger Gaban and their death shot. For this particular run, that wasn't the case. So again, I had a little bit unlucky in terms of the RNG shots, but if you get the confusion off on Roger Gaban, that death shot won't proc. Same with Yamato, you can just avoid that, and that's a really big upside to running the waifus on the strength-based team. Their level limit break 5 buffs are so insane that they just buff strength. They don't do the whole striker gimmick, so they're a fantastic character to use. And on top of that, because you have a Nami in there, it actually triggers the Kobe passive, so that way you can get all of his bits and bobs too. So that works out real nice there. So as you can see, we're at a point now where basically we've just secured the win. We just need to sort of chip away at the last remaining characters. Now that Garling's dead, S-Hawk's really the only one that's scary. Sandersoni's fantastic because we have a Boa in the waifus again, just a fantastic synergy on the bench. And then we have Sentomaru there too, but as you can see, we didn't really need him. So strength team, it works really, really well. It's a great counter to Int. And look, it always has been. Now, the other rendition of Strength, it's a little bit more... look, it's a little bit less friendly in terms of building-wise, because we do have some newer characters, namely the big one being Pikqchu on the team, and then we have S-Snake as well. So have Uso, still have Kuma, we still have Luffy. As you can see, the bench is a little bit different. Kobe's been shifted to the bench. We have Akainu, and we have Rise of Shinobu. Now, after doing this run, I realized I don't have the 6 fighter characters for the Pikqchu passive, which is something that you probably want to have, but again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, Rise of Shinobu, which is so effective in these runs, that I really wanted to include Rise of Shinobu here, and this particular team, whilst it's not completely shooter-centric, it's more fighter-shooter in that kind of vein, having obviously Luffy and Kobe. Rise of Shinobu have a ability where if they take damage, they give defense to the entire team. So you don't necessarily have to run them on a bespoke shooter-based build. They do work quite well over on slasher teams. They do work quite well on strength teams too. But I did throw them on the bench because I did have a feeling that Pikqchu wasn't exactly going to last all that long. Remember, Garling is always going to hit Luffy, but if Pikqchu gets hit by something like Sabo like that, he is basically going to get washed away. And then from here, now you can just have Rise of Shinobu come in and just go for gold. If you guys don't have Pikqchu, like, you can just run Rise of Shinobu in the front there, just slap them in the middle slot. But I was a little bit scared that the enemy was going to go a little bit before us, and I was going to lose a character, so I did want the Rise of Shinobu on the bench. As you see there, Roger Religaban was confused thanks to S-Snake. Again, confusion being a fantastic ability for the int-based fights. It just works great. Action Bind, Confusion, and Forced Out is just a potency killer for int teams. They really struggle with dealing with all 3 of those abilities, as not a lot of characters are immune to it. Like, Roger Religaban is, but the rest of the team really isn't. And as you can see here, like, once we have like Forced Out going, once we have the cooldown reductions, we have super specials, like, yeah, we're in a really good spot. Luffy just obviously tears through lineups, and just allowing Kobe and Uta to give back cooldown reduction for Luffy just helps getting a lot of damage output. You even can see the S-Snake super special with this particular fight, because the enemy's going so fast, thanks to Alpha, that you can just get that super special off of not only S-Snake, but also Uta, which is pretty rare to see in majority of fights. So, look, strength shooters get it done. Again, you have that sort of core-centric strength kind of lineup, but it does work very, very nicely. The final comp I have for the video is a shooter-based comp, and basically it's very strength-centric using Kuma, Rise of Shinobu, and S-Snake once again, but then we have Usopp, Lilith, and Lulu. Now, Lulu is basically just like a shooter version of Strength Luffy. So if you guys don't have Lulu with investments, obviously you can just sort of pivot to Strength Luffy in that particular spot. But Usopp, Lilith are absolutely fantastic as well, because they are another action bind based unit. They slow the enemy team down by just reducing their cooldowns. And they go very, very quickly as well. So you just, again, can apply a little bit more action bind too. So if you guys have more of a shooters-based centric lineup, this will work very, very well. You have basically everything in the front lines to help you take down what you need. You have the action bind, you have the confusion, and you have Forced Out with Kuma. Once Kuma goes, like, I think you guys will see it, probably see it right here. We actually action bind Kobe, which is perfect. Not Kobe, Sabo. And then the Forced Out. Oh, okay, the Forced Out didn't work there. Maybe we need a certain amount of like strength characters for Kuma's Forced Out to work. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below what I'm missing there. But Roger Religaban's going to go. Again, they got hit by the confusion from S-Snake, so that works perfectly. Don't have to worry about their Death Shot, which is very, very potent. And then you can have Lulu come in and just start hitting like a freight train. If Yamato does go off though, which I believe in this particular fight, we just managed to sort of hit every other unit, and Yamato sort of left at the end, which is like a perfect... Well, not perfect, but like it's a more ideal scenario having Yamato alive in sort of like the last 4, because at this particular point, like, they can't really do too much with Apu. Like, Apu's not doing damage or damage at all. The countering of York can be a bit of a problem, but like it's not that detrimental where we're going to die. Yamato's really the only one that's going to damage, and that's because she has a Death Shot, and she does like 7,500 fixed damage. But with 40 seconds left on the clock, eventually Kuma's going to come back around, Lulu's eventually going to come back around, and we are basically just going to pick up the chocolates from there. So there you guys go. Hopefully this video helped you guys out taking down this new challenge fight. Strength is the wave, man. They've just been amazing for a very long time, and they still are absolutely exceptional, and they can just get it done. So like I said, hopefully it helped you out. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Let's